Nelson Mandela, A Legacy of Freedom and Leadership. Early life and education. Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela was born on July 18, 1918, in the small village of Mvezo, in the Eastern Cape of South Africa. His father, Gadla Henry Mfakani Iswe, was a local chief, and his mother, Noskani Fanny, was a devout Christian. Mandela's early years were steeped in Xhosa culture and traditional values. At a young age, Mandela was sent to the village of Kunu, where he grew up tending cattle and listening to the elders of his community share stories of African resistance against colonial rule. His education began at a Methodist school, where a teacher gave him the English name Nelson. He later attended Healdtown, a Wesleyan secondary school, and Fort Hare University, a leading institution for Black South Africans, where his passion for leadership and justice began to emerge. Journey into activism. Mandela moved to Johannesburg in 1941 to escape an arranged marriage and to seek opportunities. While working as a law clerk, he completed his BA degree through correspondence at the University of South Africa and later studied law at the University of the Witwatersrand. In 1944, Mandela joined the African National Congress, ANC, and co-founded its Youth League. The ANC at the time focused on nonviolent resistance to apartheid, the system of institutionalized racial segregation and discrimination established by the National Party government in 1948. The fight against apartheid. Mandela's activism intensified in the 1950s. He played a key role in the Defiance Campaign of 1952, a nationwide protest against apartheid laws. He also helped draft the Freedom Charter in 1955, a visionary document advocating for a non-racial, democratic South Africa. Mandela and his colleagues faced increasing repression. In 1961, after witnessing the limitations of peaceful protests, Mandela co-founded Umkhonto we Sizwe, Spear of the Nation, the ANC's armed wing, to carry out acts of sabotage against government infrastructure. Imprisonment and resilience. In 1962, Mandela was arrested and sentenced to 5 years in prison for leaving the country without a passport and inciting workers to strike. In 1964, during the infamous Rivonia trial, he and several others were convicted of sabotage and sentenced to life imprisonment. Mandela's powerful statement during the trial remains iconic. "I have fought against white domination, and I have fought against black domination. I have cherished the ideal of a democratic and free society in which all persons live together in harmony and with equal opportunities. It is an ideal which I hope to live for and to achieve. But if needs be, it is an ideal for which I am prepared to die." Mandela spent 27 years in prison, mostly on Robben Island. Despite harsh conditions, he remained a symbol of resistance, educating his fellow inmates and maintaining communication with the ANC. The road to freedom. In the late 1980s, as domestic and international pressure mounted against apartheid, the South African government began negotiations with Mandela. In 1990, at the age of 71, he was released from prison, signaling a turning point in South African history. Mandela led negotiations with the government to end apartheid and establish multiracial elections. In 1993, he and President F.W. de Klerk were jointly awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for their efforts. Presidency and nation building. In 1994, Nelson Mandela became South Africa's first black president in the country's first democratic election. His presidency focused on reconciliation, nation building, and addressing the deep inequalities created by apartheid. He emphasized the importance of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, TRC, to heal the nation and foster unity. Mandela also prioritized education, housing, and healthcare, laying the foundation for a more inclusive South Africa. His leadership style, characterized by humility and inclusivity, earned him global admiration. Global legacy in later years. After stepping down in 1999, Mandela remained active in global affairs. He established the Nelson Mandela Foundation to promote social justice and human rights. He was a vocal advocate for HIV/AIDS awareness, a pressing issue in South Africa. Mandela's legacy extended far beyond his political achievements. He became a global symbol of forgiveness, resilience, and the fight for human dignity. Death and legacy. Nelson Mandela passed away on December 5, 2013, at the age of 95. His death was mourned worldwide, with leaders and citizens paying tribute to his extraordinary life and contributions to humanity.